Here are 5 foam rolling exercises that you can do to help out your back pain. So what we're gonna do, grab a foam roller just like this. You can use a short one like so, or a long one, but we're gonna put that foam roller on the ground, just like so. The first one we're gonna do, we're just gonna roll out the low back, going from the paraspinal muscles from the lumbar, the low back, up through the thoracic, and you can put your hands, I usually like to have my patients put their hands behind their neck and their head to just protect their neck so that way they're not straining like this. But we're gonna put it just behind like that. You're gonna roll from your hips, you can focus there, all the way to the shoulder blades and neck, and you can just roll back and forth, and then you can focus in on some tight spots. So you can do some small oscillations, you can do some holds on those spots that get pretty tender, and you'll feel that muscle relax if you focus in on those. Next, what we're gonna do is we are going to do some extension over this foam roller. So you wanna go to the low back, not the very low back, but just above it. So you're really at the thoracolumbar spine, where the thoracic spine meets the lumbar spine. We're gonna put our hands behind our neck, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna extend over the foam roller, and you wanna breathe all the way out. You wanna exhale as you extend. So it's, and then I usually like to have my patients take about 3 breaths here. Breathe in, and then out, and as you breathe out, further extend over the foam roller. One more, and out. And then once you do 3 breaths, you can go up to the level so it's just below, the foam roller is just below your shoulder blades, and you're gonna repeat doing the same thing. So breathe all the way in, and out, and as you breathe out, extend over, and then 3 breaths here, trying to extend a little further each time. And then the last spot we're gonna hit is gonna be at the level of the shoulder blade. So this is really focusing on that thoracic spine mobility. Again, 3 breaths, extending on the exhale on each breath. Next, what we're gonna focus in on is we are going to hit the quadratus lumborum. We're gonna do a little bit of a stretch. So the quadratus lumborum, or QL, that is a deep muscle that attaches your hip to the lower ribs and over to the spine. And what we're gonna do for that is we are going to simply put this right above our hip bone. And so you'll feel it kind of above the hip bone and under the ribs. And we're gonna have this arm stretched out. You can have this top leg bent or straight, however you prefer. I'm gonna have it bent. And then you're gonna bring your other hand, your top hand, you are going to just stretch out like this right over that foam roller. And you'll really feel a stretch, especially on the, along the top part right there. Good. You could even play with a little bit of rotation. So you could rotate over like so to get a little bit more stretch. So that is how you stretch out that QL using a foam roller. That can get pretty deep. The next one that we're gonna do, we're gonna do a myofascial release. We're gonna foam roll the piriformis. Piriformis is a deep muscle that's in the hip underneath the glutes. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna cross your top leg over your other leg here. So I've got my right leg, I'm gonna hit the right glute. It's gonna be crossed over my left leg. And then I'm gonna roll onto that right glute. And you're gonna go up and down and focus in on some of those tender and tight spots. And you can just roll kind of back and forth, up and down, and you can even pause on those tender spots and feel that muscle start to release after a minute or 2. And then you can go ahead and switch legs and do the opposite way. So left leg over right leg on the left hip. Next, so that was number 4. The 5th foam rolling exercise for back pain that I'm going to show you here. We're going to get into quadruped or all fours, so I'm on my hands and knees, okay? I'm going to take one arm, I'm going to have the foam roller outside, and I'm going to put my palm up, and I call this thread the needle. So I'm bringing my arm underneath my other arm with my palm up, and I'm gonna rotate my shoulders and my trunk and thoracic spine to try and roll the foam roller out to really rotate through the trunk and low back. And you can breathe all the way out. Exhale to try and get a little more range of motion and work into that end range really well. And then you'll come back, and then you're gonna go back into it. Breathe all the way out to really get into that end range good. And you're gonna do that about 10 times per side, and do that for 1 to 2 sets. So those are 5 exercises that you can use a foam roller with to fix your low back pain.